Good morning, Hartsville Pike family and friends. Jordan Ross is from Fort Worth, Texas. He was born with many health problems. He had severe asthma, cerebral palsy. He had went through 6 surgeries by the time he was 7 years old, diagnosed with scoliosis at 2 years old, having to wear a brace for 24 hours a day. When he was 7 years old, his curve had progressed over 90 degrees, and he became the youngest person to undergo a full anterior and posterior spinal fusion. Jordan fell in love with acting very early in his life. He played the role of Tiny Tim when he was 6 years old at a regional theater. He went through a time with his handicaps, one leg shorter than the other. Throughout school, he was bullied, had a very tough upbringing because of his handicap. He was bullied to the point that he would hide between the vending machines to eat his lunch to get away from the bullies. He continued to pursue his acting career but turned down for role after role because of his handicap. He fought through a lot of tears and a lot of disappointment, but he never gave up. He continued pushing forward until eventually he was cast by Dallas Jenkins in his current role as Little James, one of the apostles, or James the Less, on the Chosen series. If you haven't watched the Chosen series, let me encourage you to check it out. I think you will fall in love with it. But Jordan Ross never gave up. He continued regardless of his handicap. We don't know that James the Less, Little James, had a physical handicap, but I think we could all envision Jesus picking one of the 12 who may have had some type of physical disability. But in spite of the physical disability, he chose 12 who had the greatest handicap of sin. But James the Less was accepted into that circle of friends even with his handicap. We too are accepted into the family of God even with our handicaps, whatever they may be. And all of us have them, whether they're physical or some other form. But again, we all share in that greatest malady of sin. And God still will accept us and invites us into a relationship with Him. He can use us even though we have handicaps. It may be something physical like Jordan Ross's. It may be other situations we've been through, but He can use you regardless of what you have been through, regardless of your scars. He can use you too. Also, I appreciate what's said in Romans 5 when we think about us being handicapped and weak. God says, when you were without strength, when you were weak, handicapped if you were by sin, Christ died for you. Let's remember that in spite of our scars, in spite of where we've been and what we've been through and our handicaps, God invites us in because of His great love. And because of that great love that He has for you, let's make it a wonderful day.